Last time we talked about alive. To be alive. To be alive, to be dead. Die and alive at the same time. As I said before, we have 300 million cells, 300 billion cells, 3 million cells. And from minute to hours to days, even 1 minute, we have 3 million cells. Passed away. Die. It's gone. Dead. Because that's a part of us. It's gone. We're dying. But at the same time, we rejuvenate it with another 300 million cells. Build up. In a matter of 100 minutes. In a matter of billions of cells alive in a day. So what I see here is about living. Most of us live by copying old information, old operation system, old memories, old traumas, old emotions, old education, old drama, old conditioned mind, thoughts. That's what we do. They're dead. I call living dead. Living, but in dead. Living in deadness. Living in the past. The past is gone, but we still live in the past. We see people, how are you doing, Mr. Jonathan? You immediately see, you live in the past. Jonathan. You don't see the flesh. The Jonathan, the label of Jonathan, the image of Jonathan, you associate with the past. What he did, what he, good or bad or whatever. You brought all that memory from that old library into the front. You blocked. You don't really meet that person anymore. You meet the label. You meet the old memory. You meet the old thoughts, emotions, everything. You see that person. I don't want to talk to him. Why? You don't see that person. You immediately think that person as that person of the past. The image of the past. The memories. The trauma. The drama. Everything. Just like the other day. My beloved Sebastian, talked to me. That was yesterday. I say, Sebastian, let's do some line dance. Oh, line dance. So he thought line dance is what? Oh, no, the drama. I did with a lot of line dance teams. Because he had done with different Nick and Neil and whatever, all kinds of dance teams, line dance teams. He brought all that drama into the conversation. What I say is a brand new line dance team. You don't see the new line dance. You're not creating a new line dance team, but you are engaged in the past. The past is gone. It's dead. Why you brought that up? It has nothing to do with you to build a team together. So I'll do anyway. But he's reluctantly to do what I said. But because the pressure from me, I said, no pressure, build a new team. Everything's new. Let old past go. Okay. So that's why I said, living dead. Because living, you go with the trend, go with the past, go with whatever the system is designed, whatever the operation system is moving, whatever the information in your algorithm in your autopilot. You know, you can use old days. I say you in a disk. Today I say we're in the digital memory. In the same thing, in the cloud of your own cloud, and just you always, whenever you live of that response. And you see that person, you immediately get angry. Why? Just like Sebastian immediately get upset. Why are you angry? Because you're angry of the past, the memories, the traumas, the dramas, all that happened. You don't talk about the things. You don't meet a person as that person. No, you don't. You leave. You meet. You face. Meet that image, that label, that identity, that memory, that of the past. So that's what I call deadly. You can't get out, but you can. And now some people, they understand that they okay, that's the past, that's the past, that's the emotion. I know that, and then they wake up, they know that it's all this illusion, all this is just the falsified memories, the falsified, enlarged emotions, enlarged memories, enlarged cloud information of the past. They're too weak to get out. I want to say too stupid to get out, too weak to get out, too wrapped up with the material, with the image world, with a thought world, with a conditional world, with a fashionable world, with a loop. They're stuck in the loop, they cannot get out. They know this is dead living, and I'm living dead. It's called living dead. They're awake. They know, but they're still in it. Get out, day by day, minute by minute, nanosecond by nanosecond. Beware. Beware. This is old information. This is old OS. This is old programming. This is old conditioned mind. This is old time. What is that? Is time. What is time? Time is of the past. Time is predict the future. There's no future. The future is based on what? It's based on the past. Is that a future? There's no future. There's a pattern of the past that you, according to the pattern of the past, begin to predict the future. They think they're smart. Why? Sometimes they always can get right, because people are still in that loop. Of course they gotta get it right. But it is time. It's the point. It's right across at this point. You can change. You can do the unpredictable. When I say the unexpected, you can recreate you as a person. You don't have to live of the past. The quantum physics give very, very, very precise information. The quantum entanglement. That consciousness engagement. That observer and observed. And we are living the program. We're not an observer, we just observed. We're observed by what? By the program. But when you become observer, what do? You put a consciousness. You have totally different consciousness, different layers of consciousness. You're upgrading your consciousness. You're upgrading your thoughts. You're upgrading your antenna. You open the antenna to far, far, higher, higher, deeper and deeper, with a total different way to conceive. to perceive and conceive. So totally different antenna, totally different conception and perception. Not the perception of the past, not the conception of the past, old, but with a new way to perceive and build new conception. Of course, always in flow. It's always in moving. It's always moving. It's always in flow. That's what I call flow of action. What is Kung Fu? That's what it's talk about. Kung Fu is to change all that, to be alive. What is Kung Fu? Kung Fu is live right now. Practice now. Open your mind now. Feel now. Perceive now. Take action now. That's Kung Fu. Kung Fu not just the movements of the body, ha, ha, but the Kung Fu in everything you do. Everything to do. You meditate into everything. Be aware of everything. You do science. Forget about it. This is the old formula. Get out of it. Create a new formula. Get out of the old formula. Not just based on classical physics or even past particle physics. Get out of that. Maybe see the consciousness. Maybe see beyond that. Maybe deeper. Arts. Not just a copy of the old arts, old paintings, old music. Okay, people say, oh, Dolan is a very famous guy in China. He has created music. He did the 24 cities. Every city is totally packed. Not just packed inside, packed outside, like hundreds of thousands outside the concert. Listen to his music. Why? Because he's always come up with something new, not based on the past musical rhythm, the music sheet. People say, oh, his new music is not classic. It's not based on whatever we have educated in the music school. No! That's the old mind, the old system. That's why they never get anywhere. But people want that. Why? Because it's brand new. It's really, really new. That's why people embrace it. The time's here. The time's here. Yes. People are ready to embrace something new. That's what I'm talking about. Delete that old. Constantly delete that old operation system. Delete old information. Delete the conditioned mind. Delete the old information on the disk or in the memories or in the cloud. Or put that information on the background. Create a new perceiving, new way of conceiving, and then you have new information. That's what we call epigenetics. When we express differently with a new antenna, new conception, and then we have new ideas, we express new ways. And then our genetics imprint become different. We replace the old DNA information. We replace with a new expression. We call it epigenetics. This is already evidenced. Thousands tests, thousands experiments for the last 50 years, or even more. So, when we see that, we can do that. We can change the reality. That's why you don't have to live in dead living or living dead. You can create new, alive. Alive is fresh. Alive is a new antenna. Alive is a new way of perceiving. Life is totally fresh. Live right here now. That's Kung Fu is about. Generalized Kung Fu is about your passion with the life. The movements of the body, movements of the mind, the perpetual self-learning, self-discovery, in observation, to see things differently, to act without efforts. Because when you have the passion, when you have that total attention, you're in it. You're in it. You're in flow. You're in it, not conflicts. Why you have to be with this great efforts or with great conflicts, with great struggles. There's no struggle because you are flowing in it. You have the passion. That passion gives you full attention. That passion gives you that grit. And then you consistently on it. Because that's part of your life. You're in flow with that actionless action. Effortless action. Effortless movement. Like water flow down the stream. That's what I see talk about. That's Kung Fu. Kung Fu so in science, in arts, in every aspect of life. It's in flow of action. Without restriction, without limitation, without struggle, without conflicts, without all that agony. It's beautiful. That's Kung Fu. Oh, generalized Kung Fu is in every walks of life, every aspect of life, every spectrum of your living. So, and people say, oh, what have we talked about the holographic consciousness? And yeah, generalized Kung Fu is moving into the holographic consciousness. It's a paradigm shift. So all the paradigm, everything is a separation. Everything is classic. Everything is objects. Everything is a particle. Everything is identifiable. Everything is labeled. Everything is named. We go from another way. As Tao said, Lao Tzu said clearly, whatever is named is no longer eternal name, because it is your interpretation of the name. It's your interpretation. It has nothing to do with the real thing. You give them a table, has nothing with the real table. Just like Richard Feynman said. Oh, people always tell me, oh, this bird, that bird, this identification, that label. Do you know the name? Do you know the name? Do you know the name? Do you know the name of that bird? Do you know the name of that animal? Do you know the name of that tree? He's tired of it. Why he's tired of it? Because his dad told him, don't get into these people's classic labeling. Because they got the label, they got the identification, they're gone. They never really know the inside of it. They never know that the inside of the bird. What does the bird do? What does the bird living? What does bird, everything about the bird. Has nothing to do about it. So that's why Richard Feynman always get into it. He wants to get deeper inside of it. He wants to go to what the bird does, what the bird out of it, what the bird, what is before that bird, what is the father of the bird, and before the father of the bird, and explore. And then what is the dinosaur? What is the old flying bird and the new flying bird? How do they see? How do they see the world? How do they see the wavelengths of light? How do they see millions, miles away? Some of the animals can see millions of miles away. And why we don't see? Even the dog can sense more than we do. We limit ourselves in that very shallow feeling, very shallow listening, very shallow sense, very shallow of a naked eye. We say, truth is to be seen. No, it's not. Because we have limitations. We have very, 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 very shallow vision. So go beyond that vision. Go beyond that identification. Explore more. Consciousness is the vital thing. Why is it consciousness a vital thing? Because consciousness, including everything, consciousness is the creation of all that is. Neurons come from the consciousness, not a consciousness emerged neurons. That's wrong. Totally wrong. Even, physicists say it's wrong. Why? Max Planck Most people, if you do physics, you know, Max Planck said clearly, he did physics all his life. There's nothing physical. Everything is a vibration of energy. Everything is vibration energy. That's why he comes up with the formula E equals what? HV or HF. You know, whichever country you're from. It's a vibration. Consciousness is the force. Consciousness is the background for all that is. In different frequency, different vibration frequency. From the simplest sine wave to different layers of vibration, different interference. Particles, so to speak. So, but we are so wrapped up with the particles. We are so wrapped up with what we can see as a matter. And we see, okay, that a neuron created consciousness. The neuron gives the rise to the consciousness. You got to be joking. Because that field is, has been doing this. We have been doing this for long enough. Have we found anything? No, nothing. It's time to turn around. It's time to turn in. It's time to have that inner observation, inner exploration, inner light, to open up that inner light, to see that innermost consciousness of that inner light, the innermost consciousness of the wisdom. Channeling from within. Opening from within. Not just the search outside. Plenty have searched that more than 4%. That's all we did. For centuries. No more than 4%. Visible world. Let's see from another way. Let's see from another spectrum of life. Let's see from the consciousness field. From the quantum field of consciousness of the cosmos. That's what I call it. So, open. That's what I call cosmic consciousness. That's what I call holographic consciousness. Because the holographic consciousness is every atom, every particle, every cell represent the whole. It's holographic. And the quantum physics begin to reveal more and more. If you're really into not the separation classic, a lot of people do quantum physics still in the classical field. They're still from the point of view of a classical field. They never get into the quantum field or quantum conscious field, so to speak. So that's what I call holographic consciousness. As David Bohm probably have, he has mentioned before, the implicate order and explicit order. Explicit order is what we see, what we can perceive. The other way is potentiality. Implicate order. I don't use that word, implicate order. I call potentiality. The innermost consciousness. The cosmic consciousness that connects all. Interconnected. Every life is interconnected. Every piece of unique life is interconnected. Every piece of atom is connected. Every piece of cell is connected. We don't see that with our eyes, but deep down, can really see that entanglement, that quantum entanglement. So that's why take action. That is Kung Fu. And I also said in that we did this Genesis Summit. Great. What is Genesis? Start a new beginning with a new operation system. new way of perceiving, new way of conceiving, new way of action in flow. I call Zen Kung Fu. Kung Fu we have already explained, flow of action. What is Zen? Zen is the holographic consciousness, that compass of quantum field, of conscious matrix of the cosmos. In that quantum field, that infinite quantum field, when we see that, we can apply that, connect that as our compass. And then that action, that movements of the Kung Fu, that flow is natural. No struggle, no efforts, no conflicts. So when we into this new operation system, we begin to delete the old system. But that take every second of awareness. Let's start from a few times, a few hours a day. And then we can more and more. We can do that. But let time go. What is time? Time of the past. Use the past to predict the future. That past is the time. Let go of the time. Present, here now. That's the most important. That's what I see. So, the new program is to open everything new. Especially at this period of AI, AGI. AGI takes over the past. All the information, all the knowledge, all the conditioned mind, all the thoughts, all the knowledge, synthesized, combined, analyzed by the algorithm, by the data of the installed into the AI system. It doesn't matter how smart, how much you can do build on the neural system, mimic of the AGI. But human beings are different. Human beings can transcend. Human beings can have that quantum leap in that consciousness. Feel the depth of the cosmos. Feel the depth of the life. Feel the depth of all that is. To have a deep understanding, the insight of life. That's constant unveiling the wisdom, constant unveiling the true intelligence of the cosmos instead of the smartness, the cleverness of the intelligence. So, the new system we built with the new education. The education instead of on the old grooved education, the grooved knowledge, the past knowledge which AI can do like that. Create a new freedom in education, freedom of self-learning, freedom of exploration with the leaps of quantum consciousness. That education is fantastic. Just like Richard Feynman said, get deeper into the knowledge, get deeper into the books, get deeper behind what people see. And not just the appearance of the classical physics, the quantum, deeper. Then a new education. With a new education and a new entrepreneurship, the old past jobs are gone. It doesn't matter whether you worry or not. It's gone. All the jobs are gone. I don't even know 60%, 70%, 80%. You go even further. Meet that reality. To create a new reality. The new reality is in creation. Write your own story. Get into new. A new entrepreneurship is in the process of birth. In the process of birth, one by one, millions of millions new jobs coming up, millions of millions of entrepreneurship entities become possible. The potentiality is infinite. So connect the companies, organizations with consciousness. But that consciousness is the compassion. That consciousness is the connection, is the cohesive, connects all that is in the universe, just like a quantum entanglement. Billions of years, light years, you interconnected. When you connect that, you can see the organization of the past is obsolete. And the new company must give birth. Why? Otherwise, the company is no longer exist. That's reality. To new way of health, self-health, integrated health, integrated medicine, and more into integrated self-health, conscious health, conscious healing to be unveiled. You will see a lot of old medical jobs, analysis, a lot of old jobs are gone. New healthcare become possible. New old medicine are gone. Trust me. New medicine will be revealed. The medicine that doesn't have to be chemical medicine, can be energy medicine, can be conscious medicine, can be silence of consciousness. Open up your mind, open up your immune system. That's what I have done the past 50 years. To readjust your immune system, to harmonize your immune system, to optimize your immune system. Instead of use old classical way to solve so-called problems. The problem solving it itself is a problem. Because it's symptom based, it's classical based, it's separation based, it's material based. A new healthcare is emerging in the process. And then you will see the ecosystem. Don't fly anywhere. On Earth, there's plenty of things to do. Consciousness. When that consciousness is upgraded, when the system is upgraded with a new system, the old system is replaced. Not just the entrepreneurship, new companies, new AI, new jobs. The conscious, compassionate AI guide, compassionate AI teacher, compassionate AI designer, compassionate AI leaders, managers, pilots, new educators. There are plenty of new career to be developed. I have a list. In the future, I'm going to put on the internet, DeRu Academy, into the conference, then consciousness conference. You will see. Let's create it together. I'm not just one person. We all do together as a whole. We are together as a collective whole. We're together as a cosmic whole. We are the humanity. We start from a small circle. We expand to the new humanity. New future of the system of the human living. We are the designer, we are the character, we are the composer, we are the player at the same time. Let's do it together. Thank you. That's what we call paradigm shift. Got to shift the paradigm. The paradigm of the past is scarcity, material, definition, labels, status, and everything visible, everything tangible. But the new, not necessarily everything tangible. The info cloud is not tangible. The quantum field is not tangible. The unified field is not tangible. So, but doesn't mean it's not exist. The sine wave in the universe, do you see? The cloud, you see, the cloud is gone. Shift. So, when you have the old information, you stick with the information. The old information, you cannot give rise to the new information. There's no way. You say, oh, the material give rise to the consciousness. No way. So, you have to see it from within. Delete the past. Shift from the past classic scarcity, material, separation to a new. A new is what? It's the emptiness. You've got to empty the mind. You've got to vacant, create a vacuum. The new information can come in. The creativity become possible. But otherwise you're stuffed. You're so involved in the loop. You're running in the loop. That's why I say dead living, living dead. You're in the loop. The pilot, the subconsciousness. You never get out. So silent. Take a deep breath. Be silent. Empty your mind. So that a few seconds I did, I emptied the whole mind. Nothing of the past. Nothing of the old chaos. Nothing of that dissipation of energy, of that information, of that thoughts, of that conditioned mind. Everything is empty. When you have that emptied mind, when you empty the cup, there's possibility of new. There's possibility of living afresh. There's possibility of life. Because life is new. Life is not old. It's not of the past. Right? Not attached with the old information. Not just running around with the old, program by the old loop. Get out of the program. Be observer. When you be observer, you see information come in. Good observed that old information come in and go. And there's plenty of empty space. New thing come in. That's beauty. To get out of the old and become new. No, accept new. Conceive new. And perceive new. And take a new action. That's Kung Fu. That's what I call generalized Kung Fu. Constantly reprogram with a new